Hello, Rob here from Woodard Marine. Today we're going to talk about anchors. This is just some basic information when you get your boat out on Lake Bomazene, the basic anchor process that we recommend so that your boat is where you want it to be. If you have a situation and your engine breaks down, you can drop anchor and be able to stay in one place for someone to come and help you out or tow you out. Or if you just want to stop and do some swimming or do some fishing. The first thing is you have to set your anchor up. And here's an example of one we use and recommend mostly for Lake Bomazene due to the different conditions. We recommend a river anchor. This right here has 3 different locations that can grip into rocks, grip into sand, and it's pretty heavy. So it's going to keep your boat, mostly for this anchor, under a 20-foot boat, pretty much in place. Then on top of that, we like an anchor shackle. This connects your ankle to chain. And we want to go with chain because the chain doesn't fray. It lays down on the bottom of the water as well, which helps hold the anchor in place, and it's just going to be nice and sturdy. And when you pick it up, it's pretty heavy. This chain is PVC coated, which is much easier on your hands when you're trying to work it. Then you're going to come back, you're going to have another shackle, and you'll connect your anchor line. The question is, how much anchor line do I need? Basically, the general rule is anywhere between 3 and 7 times the depth of water that you plan to anchor in. If it's a windier day, you want to lean towards the 7 times the depth. If it's a calm day, you could probably get away with 3 to 5 times. So if you have 3 feet of water that you want to anchor in, you want to have about 9 feet minimum, 10 feet of anchor line on a calm day to keep your boat into place. Then you're going to come back to your cleat. One thing to know on your boat, always anchor to the bow of the boat. Don't anchor to the stern of the boat. What you want to be doing is you're anchoring to the bow of the boat. You're going to push your boat into the wind with the motor going, and then you're going to drop your anchor, and we'll show you that in a second, using your cleat at the front part of the boat. Okay, we've picked the location that we want to anchor off of. It's always best to do this with at least 2 people. One person's still at the helm, running the throttle, keeping us on location, and we want to point the boat into the wind. Once that boat is into the wind, it's just kind of holding right where we want to be, I go and I drop the anchor. Before dropping that anchor, I want to check that the line behind me isn't coiled up, isn't knotted, isn't around my feet, anything, because that anchor is heavy. When I throw that into the water, it's going to drop right in there and take anything along with it if it's stuck on that line. So now my anchor is set. If I hold this rope, it's just going to burn right through my fingers, and that's not a safe way to do it. So the first thing I do is I drop by the cleat that I'm going to tie to, keeping my hands from getting in between the line. I simply go part way around, doing half a figure 8. This allows, when tension goes on, this will allow the rope to go at the pace that I want it to go, and I can feed it out or pull it in as I want to. So now let's say all of a sudden it's tight and the anchor isn't pulling anymore and I know it's reached the bottom. I'll make a signal for my driver to go ahead and put the boat in neutral, and we'll just ease it back. And I'm going to go roughly about, as I said, 3 times on a calm day, 3 times the depth of line back. Always better to let a little more line out than to have it too tight. If it's too tight and your line is straight down, your boat will pull that anchor and you won't stay in one place. Once I'm at the location I want to be, looking at the cleat, all I have to do is complete the figure 8 and it will hold in place. And then keeping my fingers, again, from being in between the bite, this is why we call it a bite and it hurts, I come around here and I do another figure 8. Just like if I'm tying off the boat, keeping my hands away, and you do at least 3 figure 8s around that cleat and it won't move. It'll hold there tight. When it's time to pick up, the boat driver simply puts the boat back into gear, drives forward, taking the weight off of the line. I ease back the figure 8s, and just as I let it out, I can pull it right back in, pulling my anchor up as the boat gets close. Once that line is straight down, I know I'm over the top of my anchor, we just grab a hold and start heaving it up. If you have any other questions, give us a call at Woodard Marine. We'll try and give you some advice and help you out. Give us a call, 802-265-3690.